Stick with the brutality. Stick with the evidence. But they don't want to do that. So what do? They bring in you know who? Mad Max. You can run, but you can't hide. That's what she is. She's that person for the Democrats, like in Road Warrior with Mel Gibson, where they tied that dude on the front of that truck for special occasions. That's what she is. Throw a mask on him, wait right good till they say, we need some racism. Unleash Mad Max. Click. And here she goes, y'all. Before we get to this video, make sure you hit like, share my videos, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Also, make sure that your notifications are on and they're set to all. Now, let's get into this. But first, quick commercial break. Noble Gold Investments is pleased to let you know that gold is the best investment class for 2022. According to longtermtrends.net, gold has actually outperformed the S&P 500, Dow, and Bitcoin for 2022. So, what are you waiting for? Open a gold IRA or a silver IRA with Noble Gold Investments this month and receive a free 1/4 ounce American Gold Eagle coin with every qualified IRA of $50,000. You can't go wrong with Noble Gold and their thousands of 5-star reviews. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com or you can simply call them at 877-646-5347.
I don't have any really great hopes for the fact that we're going to be able to pass police reform. It is racism in its purest form. How can you not be outraged by the killings of human beings when you see that they have been beaten, the chokehold has been used, a knee has been placed on George Floyd's neck? Be quiet. But I'm angry. As many of us are, and I don't care whether it's a white cop or a black cop.
See that? I don't care if it's a white cop or a black cop. I'm mad for nothing because I'm Mad Max. That's what I am. They've unleashed me to go out and wreak havoc. Those people on those horses was down there whipping those Haitians. Yep, and it was worse than slavery. This the same woman. If you see anybody, and I mean anybody, out there at a grocery store or a movie, or you get up in your face and you say, you're not welcome. So let's finish hearing from this big old douchebag right here, Louise Jefferson Judge.
If they are brutally beating and targeting and killing young black and brown men and some women, we've got to stay out there. We've got to protest. We've got to challenge them. We've got to say to the police associations that we're going to stop elected officials from taking your money so that they will not act against you when you are basically protecting these road cops. So we've got to do all of this work.
We got to stay very mad, and we got to be on the verge of violence, and we always got to remember that the white man is the enemy. Even though I work with white folks and I get paid and I'm a part of these white Democrats over here, this knowing that I'm just nothing more than a gatekeeper that most of y'all say that black police officers are. My job is to keep y'all stirred up and mad for nothing while I get paid and pay my daughter all this money to be on my campaign, and I pimp out the system, and I don't even live in the same area that I'm over. I show up every blue moon and say racism, and then I go back to my very nice home. That's what I do. Let's finish hearing from Mad Max, because she's mad, y'all.
And some people don't like it when I say stay on the street, protest. Yes, and I'll say it again as I said it years ago. No justice, no peace.
What we need is somebody to get a piece of that turkey neck right there, this hanging down right there. What we need is more makeup for that face right there. Boy, I tell you, look like that face is made out of wax and it's melting right now before our eyes. So let's go ahead and see her reaction to this man who is simply asking her to give me some more white systemic racist narratives. And then I need you to tie the Republicans into this as well. See, now watch this pivot. Watch him throw her this softball.
Is there any path forward for police reform in Congress after this latest tragic killing? Give it to us straight.
It's the Marjorie Taylor Greene
What?
Republican caucus. And you heard what McCarthy said. He said he just loves her and that he's going to do everything he can to protect her.
Hey, yo, Greene. I feel like I'm turning green too. Hey, yo, Greene. I feel like I'm turning green too. From Bill Bixby to some incredible hope.
That's right. That face made me turn green. Did y'all hear Mad Max? And it's the Marjorie Taylor Greens and collard greens and turnip greens. And then there's who is that one black man? Wait, no, he's white. Is it McCarthy? And they love each other, and it's all about their racism. So now, Mad Max somehow is bringing Marjorie Taylor Greene into this. Kevin McCarthy. And this becomes a narrative as we finish the show to where they're trying somehow to say, how can we do a complete sweep? Let's use this to go after multiple things. We can tie Trump into it. We can tie the Republicans Freedom Caucus into it. We can tie the police all across the country into it. We want to consolidate this tragedy. We want to go ahead and synergize it. Bring in every element, even if it don't make sense, even if it's far out. I'm surprised they ain't bringing in, climate change into it. All of that. And these black officers was affected by climate change. That is why we need to do something about it. And then, of course, Russia had mind control over them. I'm sure they're trying to figure out how to bring in all of this. And I heard that these men also don't like little kids that are transgender. And it could be anything. See, so now these folks are trying to do this.
And she's saying in so many ways and words, and I own them. And so I don't expect anything from them. We're going to try to do everything that we possibly can. But I think, the average American person can see what is going on. We have these right-wing conservatives who are, we have domestic terrorists in the House of Representatives. These people are extremists. And so I'm not optimistic that that's the way it's going to happen until the people of this country really decide that they don't want it and they're not going to elect people who act in the fashion that they act.
Did you hear that? This woman just said we have domestic terrorists in Congress. No censor for her? Nothing? I mean, just drop that out there. Now, if this isn't some of the most dangerous rhetoric that you can use, I don't know what is. She just straight accused people of Congress of being terrorists. And in reality, she's way closer to being a domestic terrorist than anybody on our side. These people push racism and is responsible for so much division, anger, and violence in our country. I don't know who's worse, the Ku Klux Klan or these folks. At least the Klan let you know we're angry, mad, and racist. We don't like anybody but the white man. But these folks right here are using racism to make folks mad, want to attack each other, and divide the country. So the Klan probably like, well, leave them alone. Leave them be. They're doing our job for us, man. Let these black gatekeepers right here continue to go on out there and tell all these folks, fight, man, fight. Fight. These folks, the same people who whine about Russia's involvement and Crimea and Trump is always colluding with the Russians, do more damage than the Russians. The folks is talking about white supremacy and white folks and Nazis, and they do more damage than them. At least you know what you're working with when it comes down to white supremacists, Nazis, and the Klan. But then when it shows up in that ugly face right there, and it's packaged up in the whole narrative of we're fighting against injustice and we fighting for the little man and the black man and people of color, you miss it. You take that rubber mask off of her, you might find a Klansman under it. You take that big old fat James Brown bouffant off of that head, you might find one of them cones. Unbelievable. So she's talking about, and they're extremists, listen to her.
We're looking for a guilty verdict.
Remember this?
We're looking for a guilty verdict, and we're looking to see if all of the talk that took place and has been taking place after they saw what happened to George Floyd, if nothing does not happen, then we know that we've got to not only stay in the street, but we've got to fight for justice. But I am very hopeful, and I hope that we're going to get a verdict that will say guilty, guilty, guilty.
Guilty, guilty,
and if
guilty.
we don't, we cannot go away.
And not just manslaughter, right? I mean...
Oh, no, not manslaughter.
Oh, no, not manslaughter.
This is guilty for murder. I don't know whether it's in the first degree, but as far as I'm concerned, it's first degree.
Congresswoman, what happens if we do not get what you just told? What should the people do? What should protest?
Yeah, y'all hear that? So they don't, and this is when Mad Max was talking about the dude who was responsible for George Floyd dying. Now here she is. We want a guilty verdict, anything less. Let's hear what the domestic terrorist inside of her is telling these folks to do if they don't get that guilty verdict.
I didn't hear you.
What happens?
What should protesters do?
Well, we got to stay on the street, and we've got to get more active. We've got to get more confrontational.
More
We've got to
confrontational.
make sure that they know that we mean business.
Y'all hear that? Well, as she's calling Marjorie Taylor Greene and all them extremists, and they're out there, and Kevin McCarthy and all of them, they love each other, and she pretty much owns him, and this and that, and they're extremists. As she sits back and say, get more confrontational if we don't get what we want. If those, people on the jury didn't convict this dude, if he don't get first degree murder, get out there in their faces, and if you see anybody. So here she is as one of the pit bulls within the Democrat Party that they send out. She slings these things out, and she slings it out without any discretion, without censoring what's coming out of her mouth. She don't think about it, never comes back and addresses it if she's dead wrong. Nobody still to this day have stopped and asked her about accusing those people down there of whipping Haitians. When I saw her just sitting there vomiting up more racism and more accusations of domestic terrorism while that guy sat there nodding his head interviewing her. Yeah, as I saw that, my thought was, why don't you stop and ask her, hey, I want to go back to something else that you said was racism and was worse than slavery. Do you still think that? God bless you. God bless America. Don't forget to hit that like button, share my videos, find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those good things. And please check out Extreme Teas, my sponsor. If you like their products, please click on the link below this video. Put Kevin in a promo code. You'll get a 20% discount. If you'd like to donate to Kevin's Corner, feel free. The links are below this video. If you want to be a part of my $2 a month club, also feel free to do that. All it entails is you simply dropping $2 a month into one of those links below the video. Or if you want, you can drop a nice big fat lump sum in there to offset the stuff that we know goes on with big tech. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Make sure that you are still subscribed. And finally, set your notification button to all, because YouTube is playing games, y'all. Now, God bless you. God bless America. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner.